students. In the previous class, it is on Thursday, we were discussed about the different conditional control statements. Within that one, we have already known what actually meant by if else, else if, and switch statements. These all the statements used to check with the logical condition. If the logical condition is true, then you are going to execute the true part, and as well as if the logical condition is false, you'll be executing the false part. So different types of conditional control statements are seen. If you wanted to execute only the true part, you are not going to work on false part, you'll be using with if condition statement. Then moving with that one, at that position, if you wanted to execute both the parts like true as well as false, you'll be using with if else statement. If I wanted to check more than one condition, because in a simple if as well as if else, we can't check the condition more than one condition, where we can do those all the things within the coming if else if statement, where we can check more than one condition at most of the level or every time. So that is nothing but called as what else if condition. To avoid checking the conditions to execute directly the particular statement, we used to go for switch statement. A switch statement is a part where in which we can jump to the particular area where I wanted to execute, and have been given a simple example of hotel itself. Okay, so this is all about what you have learned in the previous class. Today we shall know, or we shall see, the different looping statements which are present within the Java programming language, wherein which if I wanted to execute the particular statement for n number of times until the given condition turns to be false, we are going to call them as what? Looping. Looping means a particular condition will be there. We can take a simple example of a runner or a particular person who wants to run on a path, and he should have to go and reach to the destination position until he is going to have the laps. Laps means 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, like that, 5 rounds. Means where he has started, he will be coming at that position and he is going to stop there itself. We can call that one as what? Statement will be executing for several times. So it is necessary for the program to execute the statement several times. At that position, we are going to use with a Java loops which executes a block of commands for a specified number of times until a condition is met. So what you can understand from this one, until a condition is met means until the condition, whatever the condition you are going to give, if it is turns to be false, it will be coming outside of the statement. For example, you think I wanted to display 10 natural numbers for a particular program. At that position, what the condition you want to do? The particular number should start from 1 and ends with n value. Also take n is equal to 10. So how many times a statement which is written within a block will execute more than one time, more than 2 times, or up to n times it is going to execute. So this is nothing but called as what? Loops of Java. And the Java loops will be having with 3 different types. One is called as while loops, do while loops, for loops. So it has been given a simple statement here, or a flow chart, how actually the Java looping control statements executes with the set of a given number of values. So declare counter. Counter means startup area or a starting point of a program or a value, and it will check for a condition. If the condition is true, it goes for executing the statements, and after then you are going to increment the counter by 1. So here you are going to have a path wherein which declare counter will executes once and comes into the condition, then afterwards that will turn to the right side and it will be executing the executable statements, then goes for what? Incrementing the counter. Every time you should have to increment, because to evaluate your condition until it reaches to its destination position or a condition to be met. If a condition goes on true continuously without having any sort of condition false, then we can call that one as infinite loop. We can call that one as what? An infinite loop. If a condition turns to be false, if it is true, it goes for executing statements. If it is false, it directly comes and stop the statement, which is nothing but called as what? Java loops. So today we'll be seeing with the first looping control statement, that is while loop. While loop is the most basic loop in Java. It has one control condition and executes as long as the condition is true. Control condition means if the condition is true, it enters into the loop and executes until the condition turns to be true. If it turns to be false, it will be coming outside. The condition of a loop is tested before the body of the loop is executed. Hence, it is called as entry controlled loop. He is going to say that the test is executed, or a logical condition is tested before entering into the body of the loop or block of statements. We can call that one as what? Entry controlled loop. So you can take a simple basic format of if while condition is true, go increment, otherwise come outside. How it is going to execute, we shall check with the while loop statement for flow chart. Then it starts, first condition will be checked. If the condition is true, then it executes the statements. If the condition is false, directly it executes with what? Stopping statement. If the condition evaluation condition is true, enters, goes with. Otherwise, if a condition is false, it will be coming directly outside of the loop. That is nothing but called as what? Entry controlled loop. If suppose you think if a condition first time itself is false, then it is not going to enter into the looping statement. It directly goes out of the loop statement and doesn't go for any execution also. That is nothing but called as what? Evaluation condition statement. Then we can have a simple example here. So what the simple example is showing here, int n is equal to 1 and times is equals to 5. Times something, but how many times it is going to execute. So the condition you are going to check while n 1 is lesser than equals to 5. Whether 1 is lesser than equals to 5? Yes, means it enters into the loop. Java loop plus 1. So it is going to display the output as first time 1. Then n will be incremented by 1. So n is converts to 2. 2 is lesser than equals to 5. Yes, goes to the loop and executes 2, 3, 4, 5. Then comes directly out of the loop. Then it is going to say that 5 times you have been executed a particular loop without having any problem. If a condition lastly 6, if 5 is there, then it increments by 1, that is 6. 6 is lesser than equals to 5? No. So it comes out from the loop. So think like this way now. 1 is lesser than 5, enters the statements, executes the evaluation. 2 is lesser than 5? Yes. 3 is lesser than 5? True. 4 is lesser than 5? Yes. 5 is not lesser than but equals to 5, enters. And 6 is lesser than 5? No. Equals to 5? No. So it comes directly out of the loop. That is nothing but called as what? While loop. And now we can go for the next one, which is nothing but called as exit controlled loop. It is exactly opposite of your while condition, where the loop of conditions will be exactly executed for once of block of statements of a while. Then it enters, then it checks the condition. It is also called as post testing loop also. Okay, because the condition is going to be after execution of once the looping statement executes. So you can take a directly example. There is no such a things you are going to have here. You just check with the syntax or a format. Do execute the statements, check the condition. So we can call exit loop. Exit controlled loop means after coming out of the loop, it checks the condition. So it is called as exit control loop. And for a while it is going to be called as entry control loop. While if I want to call, because before to the entry of the loop, it is going to check the condition. So there is a lot of difference between this and do while and while statement. So you can check a statement here. N is equal to 1 and times is equal to 0. It enters into the do statement and execute n value for first time 1. Okay, n will be incremented by 1, that is equals to 2. 2 is lesser than equals to 0? No, directly it comes out of the loop. So this is called as what? Do while statement. Then lastly we can go for the for condition. Here it is a simpler to Java, while loops in that it continues to process a block of code until a statement becomes false and everything is defined in a single line. So here statement initialization will be done, condition will be checked, and increment you are going to do. In the previous example, first you are going to initialize, then you are going to check a condition, then increments will be happening. But here, within one single loop or single braces, you are going to have all the three statements within one single pet with semicolon by dividing or separations. So you can check with the flow chart here, or first we shall see the format. What this format is going to say here? The format is saying that for initialization condition increment, if the condition is true, enters into the loop, otherwise come out of the loop statement. So you can check here, it is like the same as of your normal loops. Declaration of a counter will be there, condition will be checked, statements will be executed. If the statement will be executed, then you're going to go for incrementation of a counter. Then if condition is true, goes to it, otherwise directly it will be coming outside of the loop. That is nothing but you're going to stop the statement. So you can check with a simple example here. N is equal to 1 times equals to 5, where n is lesser than equals to 5. Yes, you want to execute 1 and n will be incremented by 1. That is n is equal to n plus 1. 2. 2 is lesser than equals to 5. Yes, execute 2. 3 is lesser than equals to 5. Yes, 4. 5. Now it has been incremented by 1. That is equals to 6. 6 is lesser than equals to 5. No, means it is going to come outside of the loop. That is nothing but this is the end of that particular loop. So these are the different statements we have been having within the looping control statements. And lastly, we will discuss about break and continue statement. Break are nothing but to stop and execute. Continue means it is going to execute the next and it is going to block the previous statements. We can call them as what? A looping or a break or a continue statements. So hence we shall see these all the other things in the next coming class. Thank you very much.